Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Green Park here in Pendik, Istanbul, Turkey. East versus West 11 is in full swing, and we are going to kick things off again with the next of tonight's matches. Ladies and gents, this match is on the right arm in the men's lightweight division, and for the World Championship title, we've got two of the best lightweights to ever do it. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome them now to the table, starting with this young man. He hails from and is representing Lithuania. This man is a multiple Lithuanian national champion. He is a multiple EAF European champion, WAF champion of the world, and Arm Wars world champion. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome Mindaugas Tarasaitis!
Ladies and gentlemen, here he comes. Mindaugas told me he understands. He's a severe underdog, and he loves it that way. I saw in the face-to-face, he is the bigger man. Let's see what an absolute huge win this would be.
And his opponent, ladies and gentlemen, hails from Moldova. This man is a multiple Moldovan national champion, multiple EAF champion, and he's also a multiple WAF champion of the world. Welcome, Daniel Procopciuc.
And there he is, ladies and gentlemen, my most favorite puller here in Istanbul, Daniel, representing the country of my Moldova, which I love more than anything. I remember a young lady in Moldova. If she is listening, I am sorry that that all worked out the way it did. Ladies and gentlemen, back to the match. It is on here. What do we need? We have to have some hand and wrist control from Mindaugas. We understand the power of the Moldovan doctor. Daniel, an absolute beast when it comes to arm-to-arm combat.
Okay, elbows back. Same level.
I think this match will be very close, and
But
really,
look,
I don't
level.
know who will.
Same level, yeah. No, same. Go down it.
Look, level. My level,
Yeah.
his level.
Stay like this. I will
But
make it later.
contact here.
It is coming.
As she said,
No.
ladies and gentlemen,
Yeah.
this is the holy grail match right here.
High low.
Daniel Procopciuc, stone cold killer from Moldova. And look at the focus on the face of Moriarty.
Keep same level.
Moran. Strap.
Mindaugas Tarasaitis wants this bad.
He have a very good setup.
More
in
this way.
Yeah.
Very high.
More.
Look the leverage.
And
Winding that hand and wrist as high as possible. Loves the top row. And as we all know, it's for some mark people.
Wait a minute.
Mindaugas have really a good top roll because he started already pronation,
No, stay here.
pronation,
but
and
look,
it's very hard to hook this technique.
Look at him feeding the thumb first into the match. Pushing that thumb across his opponent. And you can see the effect that that's having
fifteen.
on Daniel Procopciuc. Very
Maybe
calm,
go on the referee's grip.
diligent approach. And gotta say here, Miss, Mindaugas looks really focused here. Really, really revved up.
Yeah, impressive.
Down. Down.
Not more.
You can see
It's 1
Daniel
inch.
Procopciuc
Okay.
already pulled
But
those tracksuit pants up to the knee, so if there is any kind of flash flood tonight, he will be okay. Joking aside, look at the position that both men have adopted, almost a polar opposite. You can see both feeding that elbow.
Yeah, the elbow is completely opposite.
Left-hand side
That's good.
for Tarasaitis. Looking to gain a little bit of position there.
Center.
Knuckles.
Center. This
Now,
way.
Hermes, a lot of people feel like
More.
if this match
Center.
stops and is a long,
Okay,
drawn-out
center.
affair, then
Yeah.
it favors Daniel Procopciuc.
But Mindaugas told to me before he learned a lot
Knuckles.
about
Shoulders.
the press.
Knuckles.
Maybe he can do something
Knuckles.
good.
And that will be
Shoulders.
critically important
Center
if
and
he can
Knuckle is good.
finish
Knuckles.
from
It's
that
not
position,
good.
or at
Where's
least
my
make sure
knuckles?
that he's not
Here.
exhausting.
I don't see my knuckles.
Pistol grip,
More.
low hand.
Wrist. Both. Wrist. Shoulder. Wrist. Wrist.
Almost
Oh,
away
Don't
there.
move. Go!
And away we go,
Oh,
big
no,
start
no, no.
from Procopciuc, and he looks unbelievably
Yeah,
strong
yeah.
there, Daniel.
it's better to make a foul in this position.
Found this
It's better
position,
to better foul.
Whoa!
and he did do.
Whoa!
Mindaugas allows that.
Too strong in the wrist, really close immediately. Amazing power in the wrist.
Daniel
Amazing.
there literally shot his arm into the match, gave ground.
Smart decision about Mindaugas to don't pull in this position and to retry in the next match.
Okay, let me think a little
Very
bit.
smart move, in my
Yeah,
opinion.
yeah.
Need to think a little bit, yeah.
This situation, you can make some fouls, or it's better to
I was maybe...
don't pull.
No, I was actually low-handing a bit. Yeah, I might try to post a bit more.
The one thing I would say there was no real dynamism from Mindaugas.
Strap.
All the pizzazz, all the dynamism was before the match started. He sort of got a little hypnotized in the setup and started quite slowly. That favors Daniel Procopciuc. He needs to take all the power off and explode, make this thing dynamic.
Immediately straps. The buckle now is
Never, please.
with Mindaugas.
Strap, please. Here.
But in the hook,
Low.
between two top rolls, the buckles
Down. Stop. Back. Little
can
back.
make some
Back.
difference,
Yeah.
but this match I don't think.
What was so impressive there from Daniel, the level of strength looked ridiculous.
Please.
You know that this guy, pound for pound, is really something to behold. If you speak to a lot of the bigger men that have practiced with Daniel, they will attest to the fact that his arm strength is absolutely biblical. He's got a biblical name and he's got biblical power.
It's good. No.
And off the evidence of that first match, it's not going to be Daniel that's fed to the Lions tonight. Mindaugas needs to really up his game there.
Yeah.
For Mindaugas, it's better to have the straps not too tight.
You can see him
You can move more your hand.
trying to do it as you say it there.
Knuckles.
And he's also
Knuckles.
taken as much of that thumb as he possibly
Knuckles.
can. But look how carved across Daniel
And to call the
Procopciuc is.
rotation.
I don't
He
see
need
my
to call
knuckles.
the rotation
No, my knuckles.
because he's already
No,
inside
knuckles.
Daniel.
But he's squeezing. He's squeezing. I cannot.
No, it's okay.
I would like to adjust, but I need
The
to go
issue I
down a
think
little
that Mindaugas is having here is that he's
Better
moving
to go in the
backwards,
reference grip.
not to the side. He needs to, first of all, move the arm.
Yeah.
Try to get
Yeah.
the palm of Daniel to the roof a
Knuckles.
little,
Yeah.
and then adjust. And he's
Yeah.
trying to move backwards.
Knuckles.
Backwards is not going to
Completely
work.
back
Can we see-
pressure
No,
with
no, see, no,
pronation.
no, second.
Protect your
Knuckles.
wrist, and after this you can work.
One more time. Come on. Grip.
He need to go in the reference grip if he can want to do something.
Okay.
Got that.
No.
It's interesting because Daniel really
Yeah, okay.
protesting on the
More,
setup.
more.
Can you do a step from the beginning?
But when the match started, he looked ridiculous. Super strong.
Yeah, here. It's good.
No, it's... Look.
Okay.
Daniel Procopciuc, this really is one of the strongest pullers pound for
Okay.
pound
Don't move.
Contact, please.
I will warn you.
in the game today. It's very much
Level.
boxer against puncher
Okay.
here. Daniel
Don't
is
move, his
all
reference
about
grip.
that static strength and a very, very
Shoulders.
technical puller.
I will do it shoulder.
If you watch Procopciuc's
Shoulder.
YouTube
Don't
channel,
move now.
he breaks down the
Center.
technical
Center.
aspects.
Shoulder this way.
Here we go.
Okay, over, under.
Good distance created on the setup there by Mindaugas.
I will
Pulling his
close
thumb
you
Very
back.
good setup for Mindaugas.
Very good
maybe,
setup.
Maybe he can do something.
Don't move. Go!
Big drive.
Oh,
The strength level of Procopciuc is
his
ridiculous.
wrist is crazy. really.
Super strong. Now, Mindaugas just holding there, trying to see if at any stage Procopciuc's wrist and hand is sacrificed.
He need to go back to continue to pronate. If he
Little pops there, little bumps, but you can see how calm Procopciuc is at this point. And all the time, that pressure increases. And he's burning the brack.
amazing power.
He really is ridiculously strong.
Amazing
I mean,
power, really.
The control there was absolutely unbelievable.
No, no need. Oh yeah.
I think the next match
I feel like okay. Everything is fine.
don't change too much. What do you think?
I think at this point in time, it's very difficult for Mindaugas to.
Let me do it.
Because the wrist of Procopciuc is too strong, really too strong.
He needs to change something dramatically. And the biggest thing that I would change is I would actually forget doing the low hand. I would just get my knuckles to the roof. I would create as much distance as I can. And then from there, I would try to explode into that distance. He's got to, if he starts statically with this guy, there is no win.
Impossible.
Statically.
He needs to change it to start with max power and pronation, back pressure, and maybe.
And he needs to create some space to move into.
Yeah.
At the moment, there is no space.
Don't have the hand too close.
The low hand is working against him. The low hand is not doing him any favors. It's shutting down the space. The strap is already super tight. I would be looking to create space and have the strap as loose as I possibly could.
Yeah, yeah.
Stand the
Only
hand
this
up
way
and just
can do
blow
something.
into that space. If you can create half an inch, you can make a huge difference. But
Alright.
starting static, bad move.
This time without straps.
Shoulders,
Again, the low hand option, though, I would steer away from that.
wrist, wrist,
Knuckles.
knuckles, wrist
I
here.
understand what Mindaugas is trying to do. He's
Wrist.
trying to be as
Don't move.
far away from Daniel
Don't
as
move here.
possible.
Go!
Better position, but you know that Daniel didn't contest that at all. He wants the strap. He wants to be
Yeah,
tied to him.
yeah.
Almost like Michael Todd used to say back in the day, couldn't care less about the first start, tie me to the dude. Wants to get tied to you, and from there he can work. And Daniel's very much in that mindset. If you strap this guy up,
Level.
his level of confidence goes through the roof.
Down.
Not too worried about you taking anything.
Look.
He knows you're not going to move the arm.
Not more like this.
Concerningly, Mindaugas Tarasaitis seems to be looking to do the same soup warmed over.
He's
I
down.
don't
but
see any options there at
one-
all.
No, same.
A much more dynamic
same.
approach required.
More. And more and me. More.
You can see there, Mindaugas backs his arm away now, but the downside of that is that when he takes up his rested position, he's got what he feels like is a great advantage in the hand and wrist. But unfortunately,
okay.
the strap is super tight and Daniel is super connected to
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
That is a problem.
That
will
is
do
very
it.
big problem for
Wrist,
Mindaugas.
shoulders.
Needs to have some space to move into. Create that
Center.
He's
little
already
gap.
close. He's already close.
Wrist,
He need to
Center.
hold the rotation
Center.
a lot.
More center.
wrist here.
And Daniel
Don't
is
move.
such a
He need to hold the
Excellent calf.
rotation. He need to hold the rotation.
Take your grip, please.
Yeah, but center and knuckles.
would be so much more interesting if Mindaugas could get any
Center.
kind of purchase
Look,
on that hand
one
and wrist,
warning.
Where's my knuckles?
and we saw that
I will do.
sacrifice.
Let
But
me
you
do
do
my
feel
job.
like the diligent approach of Daniel Procopciuc is just
Wrist here.
making that
Leave it down.
impossible at this
Wrist, Minda.
stage. Mindaugas again
Yeah.
with that
Don't move.
low
Go!
hand.
Ooh, it's
Little
better. Now it's
little
very better.
little
Yeah,
better,
yeah,
a
yeah.
lot better position.
He need to stay in this position. Maybe
Hold there a little bit, and then a little bit of dynamism.
now it's beautiful match, really.
Now, statically, Daniel is ridiculous, and he will keep that pressure driven in. Mindaugas knows he cannot move to the side too hard. He needs to wait for some fatigue to come into the hand and wrist of Daniel Procopciuc. And if it does so, we may
Ooh,
see
now
something interesting. This
the
is getting
wrist is
better.
open it.
Starting to get
Yeah,
better for
yeah, yeah,
Mindaugas
yeah.
now.
Now it's a lot
Tarasaitis
better.
climbs the hand.
Yeah,
Little
climb,
movement.
climb.
This is
Little
much better
climb.
from Tarasaitis, the Lithuanian. His first chink of daylight. Needs to calm down.
You need to climb more.
Stay constant pressure and make
Climb
sure
more.
he doesn't get too panicked at this stage. Small wins. Look for those small wins.
Yeah,
Better climb
like this.
again.
Like this is better.
Much better position, Ernest. This is good stuff
Yeah,
from Tarasaitis. And we have an arm
Now
wrestling
we
match,
see-
ladies and gentlemen. And you can hear the crowd
Oh,
react to
no.
that.
If he closed his wrist, he blocked the pronation of Daniel. Is way better.
Now, what's going to be interesting here is if you look, Daniel is keeping Mindaugas outside of his shoulder. And Mindaugas needs to try and get a better position so that he can engage some of that press you were talking about. And at the moment, it isn't there. But if he keeps to climb, it's going to come soon.
Very smart movement. From
Oh, now we got a match. Now we got a match,
super.
ladies and gentlemen. Moriarty has woken up, and that was stone cold evil.
very quality top rope. What do you think?
I thought it was absolute
Quality
quality.
top rope. Now the match is interesting, really.
This really woke up Hermes.
I don't think now Daniel can hook like before, because for sure his hand, his forearm is more tired than before. And
It was all
now we
one
will
thing
see.
beforehand. As we look at this on the replay now, you can see that movement. And look at the commitment from the shoulder. And I'll tell you what, Daniel got out of there. He didn't want any part of that. Because there was forward momentum there.
He made
Little press.
the foul.
If you watch the movement there, forward a little bit. And that was much better. Different dynamic. Lot better. Moved away from having one fruit. Tutti frutti. It was all the fruits, mate. It was all the fruits in that match. And I'll tell you what, it may just deliver. Travis Bagent's just popped up in the background and he enjoyed that one. Michael Todd sat just behind us and his beard is tremoring. It's on, Michael Todd. Here we go. Daniel Procopciuc. What have you got left? Calmest man in the building is that man, Robert Kornick of Germany, multiple German national champion himself.
Nice match. Now it will be very interesting, really.
Very interesting, and you
really.
do feel.
And Mindaugas is not too much tired. I think he's still fresh.
Do you think there was any? Do you think he was
He
waiting
don't
a little
push
bit?
it a lot before.
I agree.
I think he have a lot
More in the tank.
Yeah.
I think so too, mate.
And the wrist of Daniel is more exhausted, for sure.
Now, what is interesting about that is if Moriarty can get the same position, Mindaugas can find that same position. Don't worry about this first start. You would expect that that's just going to be drop and strap. But if I'll tell you what it is, if I'm Mindaugas Tarasaitis, I'm going to try and hang on to that hand and go straight down.
Yeah.
Straight
Because
down.
he know Procopciuc will go with the floor press, and maybe if he catch his fingers and
And push
press
straight
immediately down,
Yes, mate.
he can win the match.
I think so. And I would be already making my claim now. I'd be like getting ready to shout, "That's a win! Losing position." You would be doing that, wouldn't you? Quality. You're going to go nominated strap. Tarasaitis, Moriarty, mastered the sport of arm wrestling at an early age. And I'll tell you what, based on that last performance there, based on that last pin,
Ray, he's playing why, because I wrote in why is the God. And the Ray, because I don't know where. The armor,
yes,
he said he's the master.
he said he mastered the sport of arm wrestling. He has already mastered the sport.
You look like with the face.
He said, "So you're telling me you have mastered
Really?
the sport?" He said, "Yes."
Yeah, very serious. Huh?
Yeah, very serious. And I love him for it. Mindaugas Moriarty Tarasaitis, absolutely magnificent arm wrestler. Let's not make no
Okay, not
bones
too
about
tight,
it. He is
not
great.
too tight. No.
More.
No.
Now Daniel is saying more.
But I think who have the buckle can decide.
Yes,
Knuckles.
Correct?
I believe that is the rule.
Yeah.
It's interesting, to be honest, that Mindaugas Tarasaitis
He
wasn't too concerned about that. He seemed much more focused on just feeding that thumb back, creating some gap. It's all
need
about the start.
to make more rotation.
Needs to
Wrist.
pronate like hell on that start because he needs this. You hope that we get another banger match, but I think Procopciuc's going to commit much harder this time, and that's better.
He will open. For sure he will open, but I don't know if
He's
he
got a
can
much better
go in
connection with
winning
the shoulder,
position.
though, Hermes. Much closer. But this is good.
This is very good, eh?
Mindaugas
Yeah.
Tarasaitis. with a great position. Needs to stay calm. Work diligently. Little climbs. Height is the king for the top roller. Height is the king for the technician. And you can see
He need to do like before.
he's
Same.
staying with
Same
that
things.
shoulder. And you do feel
Climb
like
little bit.
Mindaugas has really got something here.
Oh.
Needs to stay calm. And that forward momentum will work for him if he can
Now,
find the
if
right
he will
position.
do the press, we will win easy.
He moved forward a little there, but he's still not just
He need to
confident
do a
enough.
press.
Good position from
He need to do a
Mindaugas.
press now.
This is a match, ladies and gentlemen, technical match at the table right now between two exceptional arm wrestlers.
He must to do the press.
Moriarty waiting to engage that, and that's a great position from Moriarty, and there's the win! There's the win! Mindaugas, Moriarty, Tarasaitis, 2-2, and it is woken up, ladies and
Amazing
gentlemen.
fight. Amazing
What
fight.
a match!
You saw my hips? I was like, whoa. Oh yeah!
All about
Is it
the hip
ninja
movement.
Ninja movement.
He was talking about the hip movement, and as both myself and you know, Hermes, that's quality.
Quality, man, really.
There it is, ladies and gentlemen, 2-2. We thought it was over. Mindaugas, Moriarty, Tarasaitis thought differently. This match has woken up big time. Match of the night by a country mile so far, and Moriarty is doing evil deeds here
I still need to get
at
this,
East
right?
versus West 11. What a match.
But it's not finished now.
From over.
Right,
yeah,
right.
yeah. Now Mindaugas is exhausted. Daniel too.
Now this is a world title match, mate, first to four.
Yeah.
World title match.
Now.
No, I just feel like it's always a better. But okay, wait, let's try it once.
Moriarty, Mindaugas, Tarasaitis. I just got word there from Engin Terzi that they're having a lot of issues with people trying to pirate the stream. And I just want to say on record, if you're out there trying to pirate this and distribute it illegally, that is disgusting.
Yeah,
If you're a fan of arm wrestling and you're
Yeah,
trying to do that, that is
Yeah,
disgusting.
I
You are
repeat
putting
every
holes
time.
into one of the biggest, arguably the best arm wrestling promotion we've seen, and you are damaging it potentially irreparably. Do better, guys.
In the center, this way.
Do not be trying to pirate this. Look at what the entertainment level that you're being brought here is first class. Support this. Stop trying to put holes in it. And for all your fans out there, do not support people that pirate this kind of event.
Shoulders. Shoulders.
If you want to see more action like this, you need to support it. What a match here, Hermes
But these people
Gasparini.
don't understand nothing, my friend. This is the problem.
Hermes, who you got here? We going into the money rounds now. It's 2-2. This has been exciting stuff. Who you going with?
Where is this?
I think Mindaugas. I think. But Daniel, sometime
I think I will go.
he have some
Now I'm
surprise
still
every time.
trying to get
If maybe we don't know how many Honduras have Mindaugas and now Daniel, but I think Mindaugas have more power now.
So much mutual respect
Yeah,
between
yeah.
these guys, and they're so similar yet so different. Technically, they couldn't be more opposite, but as athletes, they are so very similar, so technically diligent, so cerebral in their approach to the sport. And you've seen that evidence tonight. Both men have got to show their full suite of cards, and both are really significant. And Daniel Procopciuc looked like it was a foregone conclusion in the first two rounds.
Yeah.
Then all of a sudden, that little change
Crazy.
makes all the difference.
This is the best fight you can see.
Perfect.
When the change in the final part and the return another your opponent to win is
It's enough.
crazy.
Quality.
Fight.
Here we go. The man in the red shirt is from Lithuania. His name is Moriarty Mindaugas Tarasaitis. He is a multiple EAF champion. From a Nemirov Cup world champion, Arm Wars world champion, and could leave tonight as the East versus West champion of the world. 2-2 the score. His opponent in the black shirt.
Ooh. He will open for sure.
Big drive.
Oh!
much
Side
bigger
pressure.
drag there from Daniel.
pressure,
He's
amazing.
gone for the lat drag, Daniel, and that's exposed
Very-
Mindaugas badly.
Very smart movement.
Oh.
Really.
Oh,
no,
little
no,
pop.
Push
I
it.
was not-
He pushed it or not?
I was not pushing.
Pushing.
Push
No,
it.
no, pushing. No,
Pushing.
That was not a push.
Hanging.
no pushing. No pushing.
That was not a push.
I don't know
push
if
yourself,
he
like I was-
pushed it or not.
Push. No.
No
Not
pushing,
a push.
No pushing. No pushing.
Let's
Look
see
at
that on the
pushing. Look at
replay.
video. No pushing.
In this case, I think it's better to make any foul.
Was not a push. He was going for height, trying to gain height.
Yeah.
That's all that was going on there. He tried to pronate hard and gain height, and the elbow
No, but
came
it's
off
good,
the
it's
back.
good. No. It's okay. It's okay.
He's very confident, Mindaugas, huh?
You know what I love?
His attitude is very.
Yeah,
happy and,
mate, he knows he's in this match.
Yeah.
He knows he's in this match. It's like when you walk into a bar, Hermes, and you're chatting up a girl, and at the moment, that girl is paying no attention. But when she starts to write her number down, your confidence goes through the roof. And as an Italian, I know you know about that. It's straight outside to the Alfa Romeo. And it is on. Here we go. Mindaugas Tarasaitis, Lithuania, looking calm, looking composed, and looking happy. You know what I like there, mate, about Daniel Procopciuc, though? We saw something different. There was much more drag applied, almost like Toddzilla in his
Very smart
approach to that.
movement.
Yeah, and
This
Travis
is very
Bajan
smart
loved that
movement.
one. He's at the back nodding his head, going, absolutely. A little bit of a page out of Todd Hutchins' book there, brother.
Contact.
With this movement, side pressure, you need to stay here. Don't to stand up. Only to stay here.
Here we go. Mindaugas, Moriarty,
down.
Tarasaitis, Daniel Procopciuc, the reigning champion of East versus West in an absolutely incredible match and a big drive from Daniel Procopciuc, but he cannot finish. And Mindaugas Moriarty Tarasaitis has the brakes on and starts to try to gain ground. Great match here, and you can see Daniel has nowhere else to go, and a much better position. And I'll tell you what, Daniel with a
Double.
second foul.
Second foul.
Let's
Unless-
restart.
They gave that first one as a push, and it was not a push.
Now it's only one foul.
That should be two in my book, but anyway.
I think in this position
Get
He
out
can
of jail free card there for me, mate. I think that. Oh,
he
my
hold it
word.
too much, Mindaugas.
For the first time, we see.
Was very too solid in this position.
Look at the
Yeah.
size of the elbow foul. That was a very, very significant elbow foul there. But for the first time, I'm going to say that Daniel Procopciuc is looking a little desperate here.
Yeah.
He's
yeah,
throwing,
yeah.
and God bless
I
him
never
for
seen
that.
Daniel
No,
like this.
very rare that we
Really,
see him
really.
panic. But right now, he's been out arm wrestled up there. It's not over by a long shot, because we know that Daniel has the press. We know he's got
Not more.
a lot of options. And
Yeah, it's enough.
we know he's brave.
Maybe now he will change the technique.
I think he needs
the
to,
movement.
mate, to be
Yeah,
honest, because
he
that,
need.
that last attempt, whilst it was a great attempt and it was effective,
Yeah.
he was running out of pad. He'd nowhere to go, and Mindaugas was coming back into that with some real venom.
Okay, grip.
No.
Center.
Look,
Take your grip.
but mind level. Contact here.
Here,
He will.
Daniel,
And level.
not
The
happy
level
there.
is close your hand.
He's more height.
Mindaugas,
Shoulders.
Moriarty, Tarasaitis of Lithuania. Could this be his night
Wrist.
to wrench the title
Wrist.
from the supremely powerful grasp
Go!
of Daniel
Oh.
Procopciuc? This is a good match right out of the gate, guys.
Super smart.
Very, very
Really.
good position adopted by both pullers in the circumstances. You can see those big breaths from
He need to put
Moriarty.
the shoulder more inside.
good position here from Mindaugas. If he can contain there, he's got a great deal.
He need to push with the tricep.
Just rotates out, but then he came forward again and climbs, and this is good arm wrestling now from Tarasaitis.
Yeah.
The man from Lithuania is in a fabulous position here, and if he can maintain that position, he is looking great. Could take the lead here for the first time, and Procopciuc looking around at what his options are. and there are very few of them, Hermes. Oh,
yeah!
Hermes Gasparini. This is
amazing quality top row, really impressive. Very smart. He put the shoulder inside. They don't really super.
We spoke about it a moment ago, mate, and I honestly think that Mindaugas is more in the tank. Look at this on the replay. He's not panicking. He's the guy.
No. Very confident.
Climbing well.
What is better to do, and really.
His timing is good, and you know the
Amazing.
person who appreciates it most, apart from obviously myself and you, who love a bit of quality, it's actually Daniel Procopciuc. He looked across at his
It's 3-2,
opponent
right?
there. He nodded.
3-2, right?
I've got to say also,
match
Monster
now.
Michael Todd and Travis Bajan also supremely appreciative, sat just behind us. Good arm wrestling here. East versus West 11.
Right.
Very beautiful
Did you
fight.
receive a press? It was like, woo!
Mindaugas,
I mean, you
Moriarty,
saw a press, right?
Tarasaitis. This guy
It's crazy.
looked
crazy.
dead and buried, Hermes. It looked like
Okay,
it was
you're next.
over.
Stay heavy. It doesn't matter. Yeah.
Tarasaitis having a great time up there, and he needs to keep that focus. It isn't over yet, but you can see there's a genuine level of discomfort, and I think his confidence is shot, Daniel. There, he doesn't look
Now
like the
he's very
champion.
confident, very happy, but it's better don't lose the focus.
Here we go, round of destiny for both these men.
He asked
Tarasaitis
for the strap, but he refused it.
to take the title,
Shoulders,
Procopciuc
shoulders,
to tie it up.
center.
What have these magnificent arm wrestlers got left at this stage? Nominated strap.
Straps.
Look at the backboard
What?
there. Look how miserable Mindaugas Tarasaitis looks on that
Guys,
backboard.
you saw it?
Look at that. Look at his face. You got Daniel smiling away, and look at the face on the backboard of Tarasaitis. Looks like he's just walked out to his car and his tyres flat. Not happy at all. But he's happy now, and he's leading this match.
It hurts. Why does it hurt?
3 pins.
Let it go.
Moriarty, Tarasaitis of Lithuania.
It's better not to lose the focus.
Look at the eyes of Daniel
It's better
Procopciuc.
not to lose the focus.
Down.
I agree 100%, mate. And you can see there, Daniel looking a little uncomfortable, but he was looking at every angle, looking at the position of Mindaugas' elbow. Look at him. Trying to think, what can I do here to change the dynamic of this match? Tarasaitis tucked in tight, looking to gain height early, and from there he'll go to work.
Don't move. Go!
Big drive, dragging attack.
Oh!
But Mindaugas has put the brakes on again, and he needs to keep those breaths going in. Daniel has very few options from there. Very few. He's watching that elbow, and he's trying to call for the foul there, but Mindaugas just trying to gain height and pronation. Oh, this is great. There's the elbow. Daniel's in trouble, Hermes.
Yeah. He's very exhausted, and
I don't like it. I don't like it. It's bad stuff.
I think the best way now is to go in the flop press.
Stay here.
I think for him.
You would go straight press off the
Yeah,
start.
flop press.
Up.
There are no another option.
Arm is almost straight there, went for
High
that
five.
Toddzilla drag.
Come on.
Next time, man.
We've seen that used effectively by Todd Hutchins, Michael Todd, Frode Hoagland, and others. But it's not easy to pull that kind of thing off when you're pulling against a master top roller and somebody who's really on his arm wrestling. And
My fingers here.
Mindaugas tonight looks like he's really on his game.
Yeah.
I will do it.
The
His fingers here, my
beginning
fingers here.
was
Relax.
really demotivated, but now, after he won the first round, really.
Back. Oh,
As soon as he found the energy, as soon as he found
Yeah,
that
yeah,
spot,
yeah.
he's really woken up and he's
Yeah.
grown into the match.
Yeah.
More.
And you do feel that barring acts of God, he leaves tonight as champion. Hopefully I did not just give him commentator's curse, but he's looking like the man who's more likely here. Daniel Procopciuc needs something special. Will he go for the drop press? And he did. He went
You
for
need
it.
to push more.
You can't knock Daniel's bravery there, Hermes. He went for it, but he's not as committed as he needs to be here. And Tarasaitis is in a really strong position. Watch for the
but he's
climb.
shafted,
There it is. Looks confident, looks cool. And Daniel
Very
looks
hard this match. This
Yeah,
match is
oh.
What?
I think it's a double foul. No, restart.
Restart.
It's a double foul this.
Pardon, what talk?
Restart.
So, did they give that there as an intentional push? Because in my opinion, in no way was that an intentional foul. I think that Daniel was just going for the pin. For me, that was completely fair.
Now Daniel is more motivated.
Yeah,
See
Daniel.
the face.
You know, Hermes,
Look,
you
look,
said
look,
it a
look.
moment ago, mate. I think it's good to keep the focus.
Yeah.
And I really think
Very
that,
important.
Yes, I really
Sometimes
think.
I did this mistake me too, because you win 1-2 rounds and you are more relaxed because you know you are more stronger.
No,
but
it's okay.
you need to focus every round.
I think that Mindaugas just needs to calm down. The job is not done. And he needs to keep his head on and keep in his best game.
It's crazy. It's crazy, man.
He's enjoying
Am I
it.
winning or what?
with the camera.
How can you
Fuck
not
yeah.
love this guy? Mindaugas Tarasaitis. The guy doesn't look like a world arm wrestling champion. Looks like the kind of guy who could do a Rubik's Cube in under a minute. But believe me, this man is an incredible top roller. He's an incredible arm wrestler.
Slap the hand like he already won. You
It's
see?
not over.
No, it's not.
It is not over. The man in the black shirt has not read that script. He is a champion. The Moldovan will fight to the death. And we saw evidence of that a moment ago, and to be honest, I think Mindaugas got away with one there, because I don't think that was a foul at all. That was a foul on Mindaugas for me there.
Let's go.
He may know he got away with one there, and he needs to regroup, regather his thoughts, and settle down.
There are no fouls, zero.
I couldn't really make head nor tail of what happened there. It looked like they called it as a no call. Maybe there was an issue with the elbow pad, because they took the elbow pad away and possibly replaced it from for one of the other tables. And to be fair, we can't see that on our monitors here. But the truth, the fact of this arm wrestling match is that right now,
Look.
Here we
One
go.
warning. Shoulders.
But strap.
Procopciuc is trailing.
Look.
The champion is trailing by one
Knuckles.
pin. And he's looked
Sorry,
more exposed than we've ever seen him.
Look. My fingers on the strap. More, please. Okay.
Big now.
What
More tight now.
will he do here? And the other thing to consider
I
that
think
Mindaugas has stayed on that one muscle group all night. Is it fatiguing?
Go!
Big drive, much better from Mindaugas Tarasaitis. He moved the arm a long way there and needs to just settle himself down now. He is inching ever
amazing
closer
fight.
to the World Championship title here at the East versus West, and the diligent climbs of the man from Lithuania could spell disaster for the Moldovan. Great position adopted, really good arm wrestling from both men. Look at the commitment and determination on Daniel Procopciuc, the reigning champion, but he can feel his title slipping away, and Mindaugas Tarasaitis starts to wind himself around into this arm wrestling match, climbing ever higher, edging ever closer, and there's the win! Lithuania with the win! Moriarty! Mindaugas Tarasaitis is the new champion of the world here at the East versus West 11. He will leave as champion. Wow! Hermes Gasparini.
Amazing, very impressive.
Oh my
Congratulations to both the athletes.
What
really,
the hell did just happen?
Daniel, super amazing, strong. But the top row of Mindaugas was better.
Mindaugas Moriarty Tarasaitis is something of a chess player, and tonight he made the right moves on the board, and he will leave as the champion of the world.
And taking a look at the replays, ladies and gentlemen, started off 0-2, and then there he comes. He mentioned to me about the height, about the leverage. How long will it take before I can bust the hand back and take over? Ladies and gentlemen, what an excellent display of arm wrestling. Mindaugas very deserving of the championship title. Let's go to Coach Ray. This should be super entertaining.
I'm here with your new lightweight East versus West world champion on the right arm, Mindaugas Tarasaitis. One more time, Mindaugas. Congratulations. All throughout the weekend, you told me you have this feeling, and this feeling came through.
Yeah, I had the feeling, and no, it's just amazing. Like, you saw all the moves. Like, I was using a press, I was using a hip movement. It was just amazing. And look, guys, Daniel is such a big victory for me. He's really just he was considered pound for pound #1 in the world. And look, I'm always humble, so I'm not gonna start saying that me beating him means that I'm now the #1. I'm not gonna start saying that. But, if we just look at the situation realistically, I think we have to admit that I am now the pound for pound best in the world. Woo!
Few matches ago, you told me and everyone here and everyone watching that you keep bringing them and I'll keep beating them. Is there anyone on your mind? Do you think anyone can beat you at 75 kilos?
Well, I would gladly arm wrestle Alonso Loyo or Arturo Macaro. Those two guys from Russia are very amazing, so I'm waiting for those battles. But yeah, this battle, as I told you guys, it was really effortless. So I'm looking for the next battles.
Absolute amazing war, maybe the match of the night. One more time, Mindaugas Tarasaitis.